This is a wee story called A Working Class State of Mind by Colin Burnett. A lady box of painkillers alongside the bottle of Smirnoff vodka on the coffee table. It doesn't even matter to me that my flat is that cold it would give an Eskimo the shivers. All I can focus on is the troubling thoughts which are circling around my head like a vulture stalks a dying animal, just waiting for the right moment to pick through the bones. Each thought bringing another feeling of hopelessness in his gid pal despair. I mean, Guantanamo Bay has probably got a more homely feel to it than this dump. 30 years on this planet, what do you have to show for it? A TV that they dafties for CSI could trace back to John Logie Baird. A carpet that's got more stains on it than an actress auditioning for Harvey Weinstein. And look, even my walls are fucked. They're that yellow I'm starting to think they've went jaundice, probably because day after day, night after night, I sit here and try to smoke myself into an early grave. I heard earlier in the morning news that the PM Theresa May has just called a press conference for later in the evening. You just cannot mean somebody's going to suffer. As I go to light the joint I had pre-rolled in anticipation of my final act on this planet, I suddenly caught the sight of a spider dangling for a long silvery thread in the corner of the room. This tiny creature was trying to swing onto the shelf with all its being, but still he couldn't muster the strength to make it. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, just give up, my wee pal, you'll never make it. Take it to somebody who has the t-shirt and the mental health issues to prove it. Oh, when you look at the state of this, Jesus, I look like Keith Richards after a weekend in Amsterdam. The white vest I'm wearing goes so well with my pale skin and skinny physique. Sake man, it's die hard with AIDS. Honestly, I've got to laugh. I mean, how has it come to this, eh? Constantly fighting and scratching for my warm piece of the rug. Even a stray alley cat gets a warm piece of the rug from time to time. I didn't mind telling you there's been nae Queensberry rules involved in my fight for survival, that's for fucking sure. Aye, the man upstairs is shot for the hips and done a right number on me. 1 minute it's your sweet 16, the juices rushing to your boys, adrenaline pumping through your veins, and the world seems like a tidy thing, just waiting for you to fuck her. God, I was fucking fearless back in the day. I had such dreams, such potential. Then, something happens. Something Nostradamus couldn't have seen coming. Your life flashes by you at internet speed. The next thing you can, you're staring down the double barrel of 30 years of pain and disappointment. You're still a pup, I can tell you. You've still got that fire in your belly, that hunger to do something with your life. Give it time, it'll come to you as well. The flies will become that bit quicker, the shelves that bit further away, and if you're lucky, some cunt like me will come along one day to stand on you, and it's all over very quick. At least that way, you spare the heartache of finding out life's just one big fucking joke on gadgets, lads. I don't worry, no harm will come to you by my hand. You've got character. I like that. There's a lot to be said about character. You see what I've been telling you, there's no point in trying to succeed. You just end up looking like a porn star with a 1-inch dick. Can you hear that? Can you hear it? That faint voice at the back of your mind, the one taunting you and laughing at your every failure. The one whispering into your ear that you're nae good to nae cunt. Aye, get used to it, because it's only going to get louder when before you can it, you've found your new best pal. I live in the 6th richest nation in the world, and yet I can hear Susan Boyle singing from the rooftops, and to tell you the truth, I'm even half expecting that Irish boy for the telly to turn up at the door with bloody Pudge the Bear in tow. Oh, what's his name again? Looks like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, only after he's contracted an STD. What's his bloody name again? Oh, Bob Geldof, that's him. Aye, that's the boy. I mean, I think he was actually on the telly last week campaigning to save a distressed looking tree or something. You see, around here, it's not the courts or law or the politicians who keep the peace, it's the drugs. Picture the scene. Each morning I wake from my coma, then I sit in my patio chairs because I can't afford a decent couch. I sit there with my bowl of Cocoa Pops while I watch shows that can only be described as propaganda against the working class. I mean, just the other day there was this boy on Jeremy Kyle who was convinced his cat was the Antichrist. It was something today with the cat sitting on his phone and dialing 666. I guess it's true what they say about every letter. What's the alternative? Change the channel and listen to a graduate of Hogwarts announce to the nation that seeing me drown in poverty has just become a national priority. Either choice is hardly a substitute for intellectual capital. Growing up where I'm fae, your social status was based upon how well you could fight or kick a ball, not exactly the criteria for becoming the next Prime Minister or CEO of a Fortune 500 company, is it? I mean, the only thing I've got to any value is this tattered looking watch my granda left me. Aye, my mate Fraser, he's into watching all the antique shows on the telly. The way the cunt goes on, you think he's a curator at the British Museum and no on remand for robbing a couple of posh stately hames down the borders. One night my mobile starts ringing off the hook about 7:30 at night. I remember the time because Coronation Street was just starting. As soon as I answered the phone, Fraser starts to yell down the phone, "Bobag, you're a fucking millionaire!" My first thought was, he must be back eating acid or something, so I hung up the phone on him. About half hour later, I hear banging on my door. It was in, they police knocks, Ken. The yins at about take the door off the bloody hinges. Fraser comes charging in, and all out of breath and gasping for air and mutters, "Your granddad's watch, it's worth £1,000,000. I seen the exact same one on the Antiques Roadshow the night." My initial thought was he was fucking with me, but once I could see his pupils weren't dilated, it started to hit me. He wasn't taking the piss after all. We were both wetting ourselves at the thought of all that money. First thing the next morning, we made a few calls to get a jeweller to value the watch. On about the fifth call I made, we were put in touch with an expert in watches who had a jeweller's in Princess Street. This was one of the places posh cunts go to get their dicks up. I mean, it had more bling than Mr. T. As we stood outside the building, Fraser eloquently took this opportunity to remind me of his claim to a share of the money. Aye, childhood pals, and remember, it was me who told you about the fucking thing, and didn't forget, I paid you back that tenner. That's £100,000 of any rich cunt's money. I couldn't believe my ears. I stood there with £3 in shrapnel jingle about in my pocket, and this cunt wants £100,000 off me. This boy dressed in a tuxedo and bow tie, who looked as if he was waiting for a bell to ring to go and wipe his master's arse, greeted us in reception. I could see by the glare in the boy's eyes he wasn't used to coming across two rough and tumble boys like us in his line of work. He directed us into his office and started to appraise the thing. After about a couple of minutes he'd tell us something we should have kent all along. It was worth a pittance. Now the colour for our faces drained away, along with our hopes of a way out of this fishbowl we call a life. Don't get me wrong, if I had had the energy, I would have taken Fraser to the roof of the building to throw him off and then haul him back up for an encore. The way the cunt was going on, you would think we were going to be doing a deal with Sotheby's. Instead, I find out I've got a watch that I need to get some unsuspecting celebrity to wear it, then shoot them on the spot, just to get its value up past the £80 mark. Poverty does that to you. It isn't just a word for politicians to throw about to get your vote. It's an illness of the mind, the body and the soul. I found this half-empty bottle of Smirnoff vodka my mate had left behind for last weekend. Poured myself a glass. I raised my glass to make a toast to my new companion. This is for you, little one. Cheers. Aye, but again, the wee man falls short. He'll learn. He'll see. I was once like him, a fighter. Now I'm just tired and I feel sick at heart. That's the thing about dreams and aspirations. They're just a fairy tale story told when we're parents. A fucking make-believe idea that gives us hope that things will get better. An idea that a nobody can become a somebody one day. That David did beat Goliath. The truth is, the more you try to reach for the stars, the closer you become to reaching for the bottle. It's like when we're bairns, we're told to be good and Santa Claus will bring us lots of presents. It's a beautiful idea, but there comes a point when we realise we've been had. All it takes is for some smart ass to come along and tell us Santa's no real. Then our whole world is flipped upside down. That's what dreams and aspirations are in life. It's all one big fucking Santa Claus. I've realised something like, and that is guys like me and the Spider can chase your dreams, but we'll never make it in the end. Fuck Santa Claus. Didn't give me that look, comrade. I can't help it. Boys like us are destined to be the pun of the joke system. It's not us who make the rules, but it's sure as shit us. You have to follow them. Am I right or what? Listen, you didn't need to convince me it's no fair we have to hide in the dark like some disease-ridden rat. I wasn't bullshitting you earlier. I was like you many moons ago. I was once fully ambition too. Now that watch in my grandad's he gave me it when he thought I was going to be a somebody. Back in the day I was a promising wee football player. I even had a trial with the mighty Hibees. Aye, in another life I might have been a professional player and it could have been my name in neon lights above Easter Road. What happened, you ask? Aye, well, like a lot of folk for here, I was a victim of circumstance. I became more bothered about what my mates were up to at the weekend, then came the drugs. Before I knew what was happening, my dreams of making it onto the pitch became a distant memory, and I was on the fast track to this point in my life. I wonder though, once I guzzle down a few of these tablets and you sit and watch as my lights turn out, will I make it onto the pitch in the afterlife? Maybe, just maybe, I might. I mean, most of the boys I hung about with at school spent some time at Her Majesty's pleasure. Funnily enough, I bumped into an old mate for school the other week down at the bookies. There I was, wishing 1,000 deaths on the jockey of my fallen horse, when I hear this voice that resembled a foghorn.
Chrissy, long time no see ya.
As I turned around, I was faced with Matty Johnson, who we had nicknamed Bananas on account of him being a lunatic. He had just served a 2-year sentence for GBH when he attacked a guy wielding a mace. I mean, in this day and age, who owns a mace, let alone actually using one? Some said he had a fascination with Game of Thrones, but who knows. It turned out the whole incident was all over a boy working at Pizza Hut, putting too many slices of pepperoni on his pizza or some pish. They both chatted away to each other at all times, then he said, "What are you doing with yourself now?" I told him, just trying to survive another week in the dough. Then Matty eagerly explained to me the benefits of prison. "Telling you, Chrissy," he says, "you need to spend a bit of time inside. 3 square meals a day and nae fucking bills. Fucking quality, man." I stood there thinking to myself, surely it's no come to this. I've got to be incarcerated to stay to the food bank. I mean, this is a place people come to make it. A place where you can be whoever you want to be. And here's me taking career advice for a mace-wielding psycho while I watch a horse decide whether I will have food in my belly or a roof over my head. With each waking moment I try to convince myself something will turn up. I guess General Custard must have said the same thing at Little Bighorn. And we all came it turned up there. Another load of irate Indians. Take a long hard look around. Things are doing all across the board. You've got Mr. Burns in the White House. Guys who wouldn't normally steal as much as a penny chew or having to steal to feed their families. And if that wasn't bad enough, some pencil pusher in London has decided to take it on themselves to inspire the next Charles Dickens. The more intently I watch the spider, the more care he seems to take in his attempts to swing onto the shelf. I'm not sure if it's the weed or the vodka, or maybe a combination of both, but I'm starting to think this wee guy is out to prove me wrong. I feel at least answer to Dr. Doolittle at the minute. This ballsy wee bastard is game, there's no disputing that. Though again, he takes a sip from the fountain of failure. You see, it's in your DNA to fail, whether it be me or the spider. We always up doing what's expected of us, which is to come up short. It's the price you pay, the underdog. Oh, I get it now, the cobwebs have been removed, if you pardon my pun. You think this shitbox of a flat I've got came easy to me, that accepting a life of hardship was the easy choice to make? Let me tell you something, I grafted most of my days to end up with fuck all. That's what all these rich cunts can never understand. It takes a lot of blood, sweat and tears to get where I am. As soon as a higher power or a big bang or whatever the fuck decided that you were going to be a spider, then you were up shit creek without a paddle, as my old gran would say. Just the same as me, as soon as that umbilical cord was cut, I was born to be a nobody. It's strange though how things come back at you. You ken? Memories. A conversation with Matty talking about the old days when I was a 16-year-old bairn again. It got me thinking about the time I spent in high school. And you've got to understand one thing, bairns from my area were more tolerated and encouraged by the teachers. This wasn't one of those Walt Disney films we were making here. The kind of sort of film I'm talking about. The bairn is involved in a terrible accident, has to learn to walk again. By the end of the film, the teacher has their arm raised for winning gold in the 200 metres at the Olympics. Nah, this was real life, and like anything in this life, it was tough. The teachers weren't able to see beyond their tracks, or how we would say, ken instead of no. In their eyes, the factory flare beckoned us for when we left school. Granted, at the time I didn't realise they were having a premonition, because that's exactly where I ended up. Well, it was up until a few months ago, when my boss imported a machine designed in China that could operate quicker and cheaper than a pair of hands. Honestly, I hear all the time folk around here complain, these immigrants are coming out here and stealing our jobs. Nobody mentions R2-D2 as the yin waiting in the wings to pull a plug. With just a few crumbs of encouragement from my teachers, though things could have been so much different. I might have owned a factory instead of serving as a drone engine with pressing a button all day. Aye, I could see it now. Christopher Matthews, a captain of industry. Now Ken, Matty might have turned out to be Scotland's answers to George R.R. Martin. This time the spider is close, real close. I've got to admit this wee guy has a lot of hurt. The more I've watched the struggles, the more I've come to realise we are kindred spirits. We both try and fail time and time again. The strange thing is, this insignificant fleeting moment in life has kept me from drawing my final curtain. Maybe I was just looking for something to hold on to before I depart this mortal realm. Something, anything, that might show me there is still hope left in this world, instead of the miserable existence that waits for me out there, waiting patiently to greet me like an old friend. I appreciate your efforts to show me there's another way to do things. The hard graft can pay off someday. I mean that, no shit. The truth is, it's inevitable we will choke when our big moment comes along. I would love to believe you, but that's life, as old Blue Eyes once said. It isn't like I'm stupid. I ken the difference between a dream and a memory. I can tell you the meaning of love. But what I'm going to tell St. Peter when I meet him at those pearly gates and he asks, "Tell me about what you learnt for your time on earth, my son." Well, St. Peter, I ken a good joint when I puff it. I learnt that you'll need immortality to witness Scotland qualifying for a World Cup. Oh, and I learnt to appreciate the meaning of poverty. Nah, there's got to be more to all this than that, or what's the point? The other night I was searching Netflix to find something to watch. I came across a film I hadn't seen in years, The Truman Show. That guy was in it, he used to be funny, Jim Carrey. He played this boy who realises his whole life has been scripted. Didn't get me wrong, it might have been the weed talking, but I couldn't help but think boys like me all live in our very own Truman Show. We grow up, work in a job that serves to kill our spirit. Then we settle down, maybe have a few burns, and when the time comes to draw our final breath, we've accumulated enough debt that our creditors will be holding us eons. All because society tells us we need a flash motor, designer clothes, a holiday abroad once a year, and a fucking credit card. The truth is, all we're doing is making sure all these rich tobs have made a tidy profit for your time spent here, all the while we produce the next batch of workers to take our place on the chain gang. The greatest trick those in power ever pulled is getting the workers to believe we all have equal opportunities. At the moment we first open our eyes and until the time finally comes to close them, their lives have been mapped out for us by them, from the cradle straight to the grave. In this country, cash is class. When you're born into a family with a wee bit of cash and the right postcode, you're on the home straight while the rest of us are just warming up for the race. I can feel these box of painkillers daring me to swallow a few of them, and then it will be over and out. No more of this pain. I might actually be at peace for once. Earlier in the day I had went along to the cash machine round from my flat. On my way there I stopped to admire all the artwork splattered on the shop walls. For what I could make out, there's a few folk here from the pork. Oh, and some cunt named Pongo. Apparently he wouldn't ride his ma into battle. I punched in my pin and my balance of 13 quid and 80 pence sent my heart fluttering. My breathing became shallower and my vision became blurry, as though I thought I was having a heart attack right there and then. So I decided to Google my symptoms. It turns out my obituary was being written yesterday. I just thought myself in that moment, this life is just too hard, and was all set to end it until my 8-legged hero arrived. You ken what? I've kept faith in a system my entire life that's promised so much to boys like me but gave us so little. That's why if this spider can make it onto this shelf in the next attempt, I'm going to give this whole life another go. Like a gamble as much as the next degenerate. Fuck it. This would be signed for the beyond. Because if it was good enough for Robert the Bruce, well, it's good enough for me. Watching the wee guy, he seems to have sensed what's at stake here. This time he seems to be taking more caution. It almost seems as if you've got a plan of action here. Aye, that's it, son, you're nearly there. Come on, you can do it. I fucking believe in you, my hairy little friend. I can't believe my eyes. He's done it. He's on the shelf. Yes!